So how does that tie into Zecharia Sitchin's belief that our DNA was genetically manipulated by the Anunnaki?
It has some truth to it, but the Anunnaki already had DNA relations to us, and they were actually lured here to be a part of the foundation of domination and control. They're a group of beings that also had learned how to incarnate here at an early time, and these energy beings were so big in energy they couldn't fit into one skin suit. So they made tens of thousands and then millions of them. These 15 beings were actually 40% of our breeding population, and there were over 200 million people on our planet at that time. So you realize how many of us there are. They literally controlled us through a puppetry hive mind scenario of literally being millions of people in a big pool of DNA, and began the extended process of breeding us and unbreeding us, and then bringing in other races to input DNA concepts into us so that they can continue the manipulation of our DNA.
Mm-hmm.
So the Anunnaki are just one piece of a puzzle. It's not the overall piece that it's been promoted to be, and it's not the overall truth. You know, those Anunnaki that came were what's called a free-roaming galactic species. Their planet was literally a ship. There was a unity consciousness drive within inside it. And for that ship to function, there were a group of core psychics that could communicate with the divine masculine of that planet and literally teleport it anywhere in the universe.
Were the Anunnaki benevolent or malevolent?
They were both when they arrived. They were going through their own subtle corruption phase of being both light and dark. Because they were a free-roaming galactic species, their purpose was to expand and explore and create some type of spiritual wealth experiences that they could use as commerce as they teleported their planet from one part of the galaxy to the next, to the next, to the next, share their technology on a DNA level because they were master geneticists, but they were also masters at war. And their first experience with war was part of the good guys, and they got really, really good at it, until the point that many of their people didn't want to live on a free-roaming galactic planet and just made homes somewhere else, until finally their species had been thinned out so much they needed to invite other people to come and live on their planet. And as they did that, they brought technology in, as well as other people that were very, very similar to them. These are the first existence of humans that were from the second fall of Lemuria, and these were time travel beings that the Anunnaki just didn't comprehend. Time travel to them wasn't possible. And then they learned that the time traveling was literally in the DNA skin suit that those Lemurians were wearing, and that's when they began the search for Earth, and the search for the Galactic Ascension Machine, and the search for the 66 prime planets. And they spent millions of years teleporting their planet around in this massive searching network until finally they found it. But there was this carrot and stick thing done to their political figures by the beings that controlled Earth for them to teleport themselves around the galaxy and the universe, and to finally find it at a point in time where the corruption was peaking in their own society, and that would make them easily manipulable like clay to do the foul things like killing billions of people on Earth so that they could get a DNA reset. And then using the technology and the karma of the Anunnaki, instead of the beings controlling our world, it's like having a minion killing a village. Well, the minion takes the most amount of karmic hit to it because they're the actual ones that pulled the triggers.
So are the Anunnaki responsible for religion, or was that another race of beings?
That was actually the beings that control our world. They can see through time. They can leapfrog through time. And there are other beings from off-world who have imported their own subject matter that was initially meant to be good and meant to help change the world, but it was hijacked by the controllers of this world and the other races who ultimately understood if you wanted to have the best skin suit technology in the world, you had to compete on the Earth stage. Therefore, it's many thousands were part of that influence.